Objects A and B are simultaneously projected horizontally from the same height and with the same speed, but in opposite directions. If theta represents the angle between their instantaneous velocity vectors, find the rate of change of theta when theta equals pi by 4 and u equals 1 meter per second. Assume g equals 10 meters per second square. So this is the setup. From this point, two objects A and B are projected horizontally, but in opposite directions with the same speed. Suppose this is the angle theta, which is the angle made by the velocity vectors of the two projectiles at any time t. So this is A's velocity vector at time t and this is B's velocity vector at time t, and the angle made by the two vectors is theta. The equation is to find the rate of change of theta with respect to time. Okay, so again we need to find an expression for theta in terms of t, and then we can find d theta by dt, right? So look at this diagram here then. At any time t, the horizontal component of A's velocity would be u. It doesn't change because there is no acceleration in the horizontal direction. Similarly, the horizontal component of B's velocity would be u again, but in the opposite direction. The vertical component of the velocities of both A and B would be gt, because v equals u plus at. U is 0 here because there is no vertical component to the initial velocity, and g is positive. So the velocity vector of A would be this, and this would be B's velocity vector. If you extend them, what you will see is, if this angle is alpha, the angle made by the velocity vector with the y-axis, then this is also alpha because these two are parallel. Similarly, if this is alpha, this is also alpha, and therefore theta is nothing but 2 alpha. Now we know what tan alpha is because tan alpha is u by gt, and we know theta equals 2 alpha. So tan theta would be tan 2 alpha, using the formula for tan 2 alpha, and by substituting tan alpha equals u by gt, we get tan theta equals 2u gt by g square t square minus u square. From here, using this equation, we need to find out d theta by dt. What we can do with this equation is we can find out d tan theta by dt, but what we want is d theta by dt. To be able to do that, we need to learn about something called chain rule. Consider the chain of functions f of g of x. For example, if g of x equals 2x and f of x equals sine x, then f of g of x is sine 2x, right? So when you say f of g of x takes the input x, and it would give 2x as the output. So f would get 2x as the input, and if f gets 2x as the input, the output is sine 2x, right? Similarly, if g of theta is just theta, and f of theta is tan theta, then f of g of theta will also be tan theta. So I put in this example just because it is relevant to our problem. Okay, so if we have this kind of a chain of functions, how can we differentiate that? So d of f of g of x by dx, this derivation could be a little involved. So take your time to understand. It's quite easy, but then it's quite long and we make lots of substitutions. So if you're not able to follow, just pause and try to understand every line. So d of f of g of x by dx is nothing but f of g of x plus delta x minus f of g of x. You replace x with x plus delta x. The whole thing divided by delta x, where delta x tends to 0, because that's the definition of the derivative of a function. Now to this expression you multiply g of x plus delta x minus g of x, and you also divide by the same. So you still retain the same expression. You'll see the reason for this. Now this fraction here is nothing but the definition of d of g of x by dx, right? So we'll just have to worry about this fraction. Now let's assume g of x plus delta x minus g of x to be delta g. So we'll call this term delta g. So g of x plus delta x would be g of x plus delta g. Also, when delta x tends to 0, delta g also tends to 0, because when delta x tends to 0, this becomes g of x, and therefore delta g is g of x minus g of x, which is 0. So if delta x tends to 0, then delta g also tends to 0. So we can now replace the denominator by delta g, and we can write f of g of x plus delta x as f of g of x plus delta g. So this thing here, if you look at it carefully, is nothing but d of f of g of x by d of g of x. See, replace g of x with a. Say a equals g of x. Then delta a equals delta g. So this fraction becomes f of a plus delta a minus f of a by delta a, as delta a tends to 0. And this is nothing but d of f of a by dA. So put g of x instead of a, and you get d of f of g of x by d of g of x. So d of f of g of x by dx is nothing but d of f of g of x by d of g of x times d of g of x by d of x. This is called the chain rule. So let's look at a few examples. Suppose you want to find the derivative of x square plus 5 whole square with respect to x. You can first find the derivative of x square plus 5 whole square with respect to x square plus 5, and then multiply it with the derivative of x square plus 5 with respect to x. For the first derivative, you can replace x square plus 5 with y, and so this becomes d of y square by dy, which is quite simple to find out. And once you know the answer, you can replace y again with x square plus 5, and this is the answer you will get. Another example is that of finding the derivative of sine 8 alpha with respect to alpha. You can do this first by finding the derivative of sine of 8 alpha with respect to 8 alpha, and then multiply it with the derivative of 8 alpha with respect to alpha. And for this first derivative, you can replace 8 alpha with, let's say, beta, and then this becomes d of sine beta by d beta, which is easy to answer. And once you have the answer, you replace beta with 8 alpha again. So learn a little more about the chain rule and work out lots of problems, and then you'll get a better understanding. In our problem, in order to apply the chain rule, what you can do is assume g of t to be equal to theta. Now you should realize that theta is a quantity which varies with time, right? So instead of just writing theta, you can also write it as theta t. So g of t would be theta t, and f of x is tan x. So then what happens is, so this is the chain rule, d of f of g of t would become d of tan theta t. That's because g of t is theta t, and so f of theta t would be tan theta t. So the left hand side we have d tan theta t by dt, and over here you get d tan theta t by d theta t times d theta t by dt. Now you can remove the subscript t, and then this is what you get. Now of these three derivatives, this is what we want to find. We can find out the derivative of tan theta with respect to theta. We have done similar problems, a lot of them. And for d of tan theta by dt, we already have an expression over here. But for that, we need to find the derivative of this fraction here. Now this is quite a complicated expression. So we need to learn a little more about derivatives to figure out how to find the derivative of this function with respect to t. Okay, so we'll get to that. Let's first find the derivative of tan theta with respect to theta. So we can start with the definition and do it the same way as we have been doing it so far. We will have to apply the small angle approximations at one place at least. And what you will find out is the derivative of tan theta with respect to theta is 1 plus tan square theta. Now we are left with finding out derivative of tan theta with respect to t, this derivative. And for that we need to find this. For that, let's learn about a couple of rules, the product rule and the quotient rule. We will only be using the quotient rule, but let's also learn about the product rule. Suppose you want to find the derivative of the product of a couple of functions, f of x and g of x. How do you go about that? It's actually quite easy. Let's again start from the definitions. The derivative of f of x times g of x with respect to x is this thing here as delta x tends to 0. Now you add and subtract this term to the numerator, and then by rearranging, what you will find is this can be rewritten as f of x plus delta x times this plus g of x times this. This fraction here is nothing but the derivative of g of x with respect to x, and this is the derivative of f of x with respect to x. So we can replace these two fractions with these two derivatives. And for f of x plus delta x tends to 0, and therefore f of x plus delta x is nothing but f of x. And therefore the derivative of the product of a couple of functions is nothing but the first function times the derivative of the second function plus the second function times the derivative of the first function. In simpler terms, if u is equal to f of x and v is equal to g of x, then the derivative of uv with respect to x is u dv dx plus v du by dx. This is called the product rule. Similarly, you can also find an equation for the quotient. If you have a fraction, let's say f of x by g of x, and you want to find the derivative of this fraction, the way you can do it is use the same approach as we did for the product rule. I'm not going to explain the whole thing because it's pretty much the same. What you will get is, when you want to find the derivative of f of x by g of x with respect to x, what you get is 1 by g of x whole square times the denominator function times the derivative of the numerator function minus the function in the numerator times the derivative of the function in the denominator. Again, if u represents f of x and v represents g of x, then the derivative of u by v with respect to x is v du by dx minus u dv by dx whole divided by v square. This is called the quotient rule. You can use this when you have two fractions, one in the numerator and one in the denominator. So that's what it is in our problem. We want to find the derivative of tan theta with respect to t, and we found out that the expression, the derivative, it's equivalent to this derivative here. So here you have 2u gt by g square t square minus u square. So this is like f of t by g of t or whatever. There's one function in the numerator and one in the denominator. So we can apply the quotient rule and get the answer for this derivative. 1 divided by the denominator square times denominator times the derivative of the numerator minus numerator times the derivative of the denominator. On simplifying this is what you get. So in this equation, we have found out d tan theta by d theta. We have also found out d tan theta by dt. And therefore, we can get an expression for d theta by dt. On doing the substitutions, this is what you get. Okay. So early on, we saw that tan theta is equal to 2u gt by g square t square minus u square. And in the problem, we are told that theta equals pi by 4, u equals 1, and g equals 10. Substituting these values in this equation, you can get the value for t. Now you have the values of t, u, theta, and g. You can then perform all the substitutions in this equation here and get the value for d theta by dt when theta equals pi by 4.